Hi friends, it's Kamal and you're watching Maths by Jajoria. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel. In this video, I will explain circles, midpoints and perpendicular bisectors. Okay, so now before I proceed with this, the prior knowledge to this is required of find the equation of the line passing through the points, pair of points, and a real solution to the two equations. Also find the equation of the line that passes through the point and perpendicular to the line of the any kind of equations. So this is very important that you must have that prior knowledge. However, I will leave the link in the description box because I have discussed this in my previous videos, and if you haven't watched, I will really highly recommend that you watch that first before move on to this. Okay, so let's move on this. So circles, in circles we will talk about midpoints and perpendicular bisectors. Okay, right. So in circles you can find the midpoint of the line segment by averaging the x and y coordinate of the endpoint. So this, when we will talk about circle, then I will explain to you. However, if there is a line being given to you and the midpoint of the line segment with the endpoints, so let's say the endpoints you have here x1 and y1, and here you have x2, y2. Okay, now the midpoint of this would be x1 plus x2, and that divided by 2, and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. If you really think about this, if someone asks you what we are really trying to do here is that the 2 points has been given to us, and we were just half that one. So whatever the length you have in terms of the length of the this line, finding the midpoint, somehow you will see that we just halfway in going through halfway by dividing 2. Okay, so if we need to if the midpoint of the line segment with the endpoints, so we have this endpoints, and we can write like this. Okay, so x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and then y1 and y plus y2, and that's divided by 2. So this is where we can find the midpoints. Okay, I will come to perpendicular bisector, that's later on. Okay, first I will do some of the examples on that. So let's start that. The line segment AB, which is here, AB, is a diameter of the circle. Okay, so there's a circle and the line, there's AB line, and where A and B are, so you got the points here, so -3 and 8, and also 5 and 4 respectively. Now this is the estimation, so it's not really done on the grid, so if there can be bit out of proportion these points, so please ignore that. However, what we need to find the real solution, what been asked in exam. So it says that to find the coordinates of the center of the circle. Okay, so that's the first one we will do. Right now, in your exam you may not be given this, so what you need to do, you need to work with what been asked. So you know here the line segment is AB, and then it says the diameter of the circle, so you need to have that. Then it says A and B, the points been given to you. So what happened with the coordinates, that you just see, because it's minus, one is in minus. Okay, -3 and 8, so you know where exactly it will go. Okay, now let's move on to this one. So first we draw the sketch, which I have done that for you. Okay, I just said that in exam you may not have that, so you might have to do it. So first we do sketch. Okay, this is really done. Now remember, the center of the circle is the midpoint of the diameter. Okay, so from above you need to remember that, so I'll write down there as well. So from above, the center of a circle is the midpoint of a diameter. Okay, right? So now you know that. So what we will do now, so we will use this here. So I write down here, use x1 plus x2, that divide by 2, and then y1 plus y2, that divide by 1. Okay, so we will use that. Right. So let's write down here the center of the circle is, okay, so we got here your -3 plus 5, that's divided by 2, and then you got 8 plus 4, that's divided by 2. Okay, so we got this is with this we got from here. Okay, these 2 points here. Okay, so then, okay, what you do, I just simplify this one, and that will give you, okay, -3 plus, okay, 2 by 2, and then you got here 12 by 2. Okay, which is your 1 and 6. Okay, so the coordinates of the center of the circle, so this one here, that would be 1 and 6. Okay, right. So let's take another example as well. Slight different. So let's see. So in this one, it says the line segment PQ, which is here, your P and Q here. Okay, it says is a diameter of the circle. Okay, and circle center. So the center has been given to you, this one. Okay, so the PQ is the diameter of a circle with a center. Okay, so it's the of the center. So the center been given to you. Okay, so the center is, the coordinate is 2 and -2. Okay, so remember this. Okay, given that P is, that P point, one point here is 8 and -5, find the coordinate of the Q. So now pretty much if you see here what really has been given to you, and you can probably have an idea on that one, that out of these 3 things, 2 has been given to you, so you just need to find out the third one. So in above example, these 2 been given you and had to find the center here, but however in this one, center has been given to you, so you just need to find out this point here, this coordinate here. Okay, so let's move on to that as well. Right, so 2 and 2, so I write down for you actually step by step here. So 2 and -2, okay, is the midpoint of AB. So you need to write all of that here. Okay, so because you need to really explain what you're really doing here. Now again, I would like to say to you that in exam, this may not be given to you, so you need to sketch that. Okay, so just go through the statement here. Okay, what's been given to you, so have that, sketch that one. That will really help you to find out. I mean, that probably carry marks as well, so that I would say is better to do that. Okay, so 2 and -2 is the midpoint of AB. Yeah, okay, and your 8 and -5. Okay, so midpoint of that being given to you. Now obviously you will use, so I'll write down here as well which we will use x1 plus x2, and then you got y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Okay, so in here we say let q have the coordinate of the AB. So just saying the q is actually AB. Okay, so write down here, let q have coordinates AB. Okay, and we're going to use this. Okay, so by using this here to find the midpoint, all we will do, we will insert everything in there. So let's say what that would be. So you have here 8 plus a and 2, because one is a and b, so we have to write down, and then another one is minus 5 plus b, that's divided by 2. Okay, by using this. So just simply that x on one x is 8 and b, then another one is minus 5 and b. Okay, so that's what we got here now. Okay, let's show what we will do. Okay, we will take this time, we will take this individually. Okay, so these coordinates we will take individually. So let's write down that first, this and then this. Okay, right, so let's write down that first. So 8 plus a and 2. Okay, so we will, let's put this way. Okay, solve this first. Minus 5 plus b divides 2. Okay, so we will solve this one, and that is here, these are here midpoint, because this is for the midpoint, so the midpoint has been given to us here. We will write that also here. Okay, 2 and minus 2 is the midpoint. So this midpoint from the above statement here, you can find the midpoint of the line segment by averaging the x and y coordinates of the endpoints. Okay, so remember that. So that's what we got. Because the midpoint has been given to us, we will write that this is equal to midpoint, that what been given to you. Okay, and by doing so, as you also know here, in here this is your x and this is your y. Okay, don't forget that. Okay, so when we do this here, taking individually, we write down 8 plus a divided by 2 is equal to 2 from here, that 2 being taken. Okay, and y, which is minus 5 plus b divided by 2, that is your y1 and y2 too. Okay, so that one will be equal to minus 2. Okay, got that? Okay, please don't forget this. Okay, so now you know because the midpoint was given to you, that's why I made this equal to midpoint. Okay, and that we got from here. Okay, all right. So now that's pretty simple. Now all we need to do, you can just solve this. Okay, which is your, okay, and then your a is equal to 4 minus 8, which is equal to minus 4. Okay, and then here minus 5 plus b equal to minus 4. Okay, your b is equal to minus 4 plus 5. Okay, we got this one over there, that is here 1. So b is equal to your 1. So a is equal to minus 4, yeah, and b is equal to 1. Now you know what is your A and what is your B, so we write down here. So Q is, so that point is -4 and 1. Okay, so this is how we got your another coordinate. So now you know these two these two types of examples. Okay, if midpoint been asked, then how you will do. If midpoint is being given to you and they ask you any other point, the endpoints, and this is how you do. In this one, you just, what you had to do, you had to just make that all this one, this statement here from above equal to your midpoint. Okay, and this what we got from here. You can find the midpoints of the line segment by averaging the x and y coordinate of its endpoints. Okay, and this is what we achieved this time. Now I'll move on to the perpendicular bisectors. Okay, so we have covered midpoints. Now we're going to move to the perpendicular bisectors. Okay, right. Okay, now as I said already that with the link which I have in the description box, you must watch these videos. That will really give you good understanding of tangents and gradients. So without that, this will be kind of confusing. Okay, right. So the perpendicular bisector of the line segment, which is AB here. Okay, so now that's your line here, AB, and there's a bisector, so you can say there's a L. So L here, the bisector, so the perpendicular bisector, it has to be perpendicular. Okay, bisector of the line segment AB is the straight line that is perpendicular to the AB passing through the midpoint of AB. Okay, now with this, if the gradient of AB, now this is very important, and this is from my previous videos as well. Okay, if the gradient of AB is M, okay, then the gradient of perpendicular bisector L, that would be -1 over M. Okay, now as I said to you that please watch my previous videos for that. Okay, I have explained that, and that will give you understanding on that one. All right, so now let's move on to the one of the other example with this. Okay, now in this example it says the line segment AB, which is here. Now obviously this is circle, so line segment here A and B is a diameter of the circle. Okay, that's fine, with the center C, right? Then it says where A and B, the coordinate has been given, is -1 and 4 and 5 and 2, right, respectively. That's fine. What is asking now? It says line L, that's line L, passing through C, okay, the midpoints, and is perpendicular to the AB. That's also fine. So it says find the equation of L. So this is what we need to find: equation of this line. Okay, we need to find the equation of this line. Okay, so let's do it slowly. I will take step by step and explain to you. Okay, right. The first one is as I said to you in your exams, I'm not really sure that the sketch will be given to you. However, you need to go through what it says in your exam and then draw. So the first bit you will do draw a sketch. Okay, so that you might need to do. Right, then is here L is a perpendicular bisector of the AB, so you need to also write down this, and I'll write down this one for you in red. So this here, okay, so L is there's no space, so I just make that this sign. So that's a perpendicular sign, perpendicular bisector. Okay, of A, B. That is your A and B. Okay, so we know this now, right? All right. So then we will use your midpoint. Okay, so that we also know x1 plus x2 divided by 2, okay, and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Right, now first we will, what we will do, we will say the center of the circle is, so let's do this one first here. So write down here the center of the circle is, got -1 plus 5, so sorry, it's -1 plus 5 divided by 2, then you got here 4 plus 2 divided by 2. Okay, so that's what we got by using this. Okay, all right. Now here I don't need to write down that, already I told you that if I can write down for you as well to make it easy, this one, because hence, so that I should have probably write this just before this, hence your x1 y1 is equal to -1 and 4, and your x2 and y2 is equal to your 5 and 2. Okay, and by this is what we got from there. Okay, right. Now what we will do here, we will use m, which is gradient, y2 minus y1, and that's divided by x2 x1. Okay, and as I said to you that watch my previous video, and that's for gradient. Okay, that's formulas for gradient. So here because we got this one from here, so we can write down here your again x1 and y1 is equal to -1 and 4, and again your x2 and y2 is 2. So from taking this, what we do, just insert in this formula as well. Okay, find the gradient of the line segment AB. So gradient of the line segment A and B. Okay, right. So let me write down this here then. The gradient of the line segment A, B. Okay, by using this here formula is 2. What is your y2 here? From here to minus 4, y1 is your 4. Okay, then you got your x2 is 5 minus x1 is your minus 1. So you got minus sign again, so always a bit you need to take a precautionary measurement here, because you got minus already signed, and then your one of the coordinate is here also minus here, so you just do this way, just put 1 in the bracket. Okay, and this will give you, from here you have minus sign, so don't forget that. So let's say you got from minus sign here, that is your 2, and then this minus and that minus will make what? Plus. Okay, don't forget this, and that will be your 6. 5 plus 1, 6. Solve further will give you minus 1 over 3. Okay, so this is what we got, the gradient of the line segment AB. Now remember, I write down here for you as well. Okay, from, let me just take you here, what exactly it says here. It says if the gradient of AB, which is your one line AB, is M, okay, if is M, then the gradient of its perpendicular bisector, which is your L here, will be minus 1 over M. Okay, so please remember this. Okay, so I write down here for you as well. Remember, okay, and you need to write that is in your exam as well. Product of gradient of two, I'm writing this one and I will come back to you that. Okay, so remember the product of the gradients, this is S, so these are two gradients, okay, of two perpendicular lines, because the lines are perpendicular to each other. Okay, remember that. Perpendicular lines is minus 1. Okay, right, so it says, so minus 1 by 3 and multiply 3. How we got this? Because minus 1 by 3, this is your 1 of that. Okay, the gradient of the line AB, because the gradient of this line, and if it's a perpendicular, then it will be 1 minus 1 over M. Okay, so in other words, what that would be? That will be 3. Okay, because if you write down here, so I write down here for you, from here the gradient of L is equal to 3. Okay, and that we got from here, because it says that, sorry, this is L. Okay, so perpendicular bisector, that L, that will be your, so I can put down here for you, minus 1, and what is your M here is minus 1 by 3. Okay, so when you solve this, other way around, that's minus cancel out that, and then if you solve that, that will give you 3. Okay, so this is where we got that from. Now, because we got this gradient of L, and with the help of that, it says the product of the gradients. So if you have two products of the gradients, and that I also have covered in my previous videos. So product means multiplication of that. So the one gradient is this, another one is 3. So I write down here 3. And that will give us -1. And that's what we got here. It says the product of the gradient of the two perpendicular lines is -1. And this is how we got -1. Okay. So in other words, I can also write down for you. So if one is m, and then because it's perpendicular, another would be 1 -1 over m. So the product of that will be -1. Okay. So this is what exactly I done here. Right. Hope I did this clear. But as I said that watch my previous videos. Right. I think I have explained enough here. Let's move on now. Okay, with this, we also got here gradients and also the product of the gradients of perpendicular lines is -1. So remember that. Now what we need to do, we need to find the equation of, this is what we asked, find the equation of L. So with the help of all of this, the equation of L is, now for this we have to go through one of the formula as well, which has been discussed previously. So what I do, I write down here for you as well, that as well. Okay, so it says the perpendicular lines, so I put the sign here, perpendicular sign, perpendicular line L, okay, passes through the point 2 and 3. Okay, right, and has gradient 3. Okay, so the perpendicular lines L, because this is what we need now, we're coming to L, is passes through the point 2 and 3. Okay, okay, and then has a gradient 3. So we got here gradient 3 here as well, and then obviously the midpoint as well, we got it from here. Okay, so let's move on this now. I think this one, when we didn't, let me just write down here the center of the circle, that solve that, we will get 2 and 3. Okay, from here, and write down here, this here is 2 and 3. Okay, so that's, sorry I didn't complete that over there. So this is where you got your 2 and 3. Okay, because 1 minus that gives you 4 by 2, that's 2. Then you got your 6 and 6 over 2, that gives you 3. Right. Okay, so the perpendicular lines L passes through the points 2 and 3, which is here, and has gradient 3, which is gradient 3 here. Okay, and I also explained to you how we got that. Okay, right. So what we do, we use this formula, y minus y1 equal to m x minus x1. Okay, this is you got with m equal to 3. Okay, and x1 and y1, which is 2 and 3. That is your 2 and 3 here. Okay, right? So this is also has been discussed in my previous videos. Okay, now then what we need to do, we need to rearrange the equation into the form y equal to mx plus c. Okay, these all have been discussed, right? So with the help of these plus all that coordinates, okay, now I'm just going to write down the equation, which is y minus, okay, y1 is here 3 equal to m is, which is 3, which is a gradient. So gradient, I can write down here m is gradient. Okay, so gradient of L is m from here. Then you got here your x minus, what is your x1 here? 2. Yeah, clear so far? And now this, you just need to rearrange this one. Minus 3, then you got here 3x minus 6. Y, what your y would be? So the y would be this minus 6 here. That minus goes there, that will be a plus. So y would be your 3x minus 3. So this will be your equation of L. Okay, this is how we get that, right? Now I do understand with this example we have covered a lot of things which I have discussed in my previous video. I will obviously have all the links in there. I hope it's clear to you. Now do me a favor, if you're finding this video informative, please like and subscribe this video, and be sure to click that like button and drop your comments if you have any questions, and what I will do my best to reply as soon as possible. Thank you.